Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Stafford now to throw. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The first carry now. This is Johnson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. 32. First down, Detroit. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 20 carries, 66 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. It's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They go play action here on first down, and he fires one incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second and 12, Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Stafford on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21. To throw, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, you block over here. Look again.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Johnson on the counter. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Stafford. The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This will be taken in at the 1. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Play action. Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from me, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now, he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Screenplay, Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll wind up getting 8, but it's not enough. 4th down. A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation. Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense. Absolutely. He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse. And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking out nicely. Good English on that punt. Now Leonard Fournette. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game. 2nd and 5 now. Rodgers dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score. Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal. Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
At the 26-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half. Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays. Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Stafford now to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And it is incomplete. So we are at halftime here. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be taken very short. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball.
Let's go. Let's do it.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Rodgers going to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Justin Coleman. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A big run there by Johnson. 56 yards. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really...
And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. To the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
He was to the 27-yard line.
Check 52, come on. Check 52, come on.
Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. So good field position for the Packers as they come up first and 10 at the 40. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Box it.
Right there, 54.
Cat 300. Go. Hey, Charlie.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking deep for Adams. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
Check, watch 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, Rodgers. Flushed out right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 30 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
A big run there by Johnson. 43 yards. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially...
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Lions are in for 6.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Stafford's pass complete to number 19, Kenny Galladay. Touchdown, Detroit.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Tighten down.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 12, Stafford. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Caught by Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Packers pick it up.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
And those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stafford looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run with Jackson. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Fournette. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Detroit, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So for our entire crew, along